G'day! With all the shiny AI distractions these days and the horrible doom scrolling events, it's very easy to not have your website on the top of your to-do list and to not really be thinking about it too much. Especially if it's not broken, it's not actually, it's not on flames, it's not down, there's no major issues going on that you're aware of, but there is possibly silent issues that may be growing over time that you're just not aware of because you never actually think about or look at your website. And that might go on for months or a year that you're not actually paying any attention to how your website's performing and keeping that up to date. So that can really be a silent killer of your business if you just put up your website and then don't think about it for months and months, because more and more people these days are interacting with your business online. People don't want to pick up the phone or even walk into a shop until they've checked out the website first, and a lot of people would much prefer to do the entire business transaction with you without actually talking to a person. They just want to be able to do that online. The website as the front of your business, and sometimes the entirety of your business transaction with some of your customers, really is super important. But if people come to your website and they don't like what they see, or it's not what they were expecting, or you don't really have the message there that is what they were looking for, perhaps your products and services haven't been up to date, or it doesn't really look like you do that thing anymore, then they're going to hit back and go to somewhere else on Google. Or alternatively, they might be asking ChatGPT or Claude or something like that, who is the best service provider in my area for this certain thing, which might be what you do. But if ChatGPT or Claude can't see that on your website, then they're not likely to recommend you. So there are 5 main things that will start to happen on your website over time if you neglect it, that start to have a real impact on your income, your profits, your business, and that leads to extra stress and problems that you don't want. And if you simply address these issues and stay on top of them and keep your website up to date, then the opposite happens and you're getting more leads, more customers, more revenue, your profit grows, everyone's happy. The 5 things are, firstly, just losing inquiries that come to your website and there's a small thing that is a disconnect, or they're not really seeing how to get started with you, or it's not really clear, they've got some questions about how you work, or you just don't look quite as professional as the other guy's website. And so just that conversion of a website visitor into a lead or a customer can be affected by a number of small little things, but it's important to build trust and have a clear message about what you have to offer them, and make sure that you can connect with that person who's interested in your service, and make sure that they feel like they're in the right place when they land on your website. The other thing is that you're losing money on your marketing efforts. So this could be running ads, it could be referrals through word of mouth. It could be people finding you on Google and you putting out content onto the socials. So you're putting in this effort, and in a lot of cases it's costing you money in order to get your business out there and seen by other people. But then if they're coming to your business and there's problems on the website, and that might be as bad as, there's a security issue on your website, it's got infected with malware, or it might be as small as just like it wasn't really clear what I needed to click on to contact you, or something like that. But either way, if people are in a moment where they're not sitting calmly at their computer and ready to go through and find the thing, they might just get distracted and not end up coming back to you. So your marketing efforts will be costing you money and losing you those leads. And then the other thing is, like, over time, tech issues can come in. If the software is not up to date, then some things get stop working properly or stop connecting with other parts of your website. So in your website, there's lots of different bits of software, and if some of them get updated and no longer are compatible with other parts, then it can cause display issues that make your website just look like it's a bit broken and a bit weird, and then people are like, I don't really trust this site, I'm not going to put my credit card in here, and so you lose people that way with those kind of small tech issues. The more serious one is security issues, and so with AI being used by malicious actors to create malware or conduct AI attacks and that sort of thing, it's a lot better at finding vulnerabilities in old software and linking those vulnerabilities together and getting into websites and to do all kinds of different things. It might be just putting up spammy posts for unsavory websites or random weird messages and that sort of thing that people want to do. It has a massive impact on your business and your brand and reputation. If your website does get infected and has those kind of things on your website, it hurts your reputation with Google. Google sees you as an infected website and then doesn't want to send people there. And also any customers that come to your website and are seeing that kind of thing going on, that's going to be bad. And then also, if you have sensitive data on your website and it gets hacked into, and that data can then be shared, if there's a data breach on your website, that can have a massive impact on your brand. So it really is important to stay on top of those security concerns and not just update the software, but also be aware of what are the threats that are coming, and make sure that the website is protected against those threats. And then the other thing is losing visibility over time. So just by updating your website and keeping it fresh and having new information, publishing new content, or just changing the details to be accurate with where you're at, that gives Google and AI tools the confidence to know that yes, you are still in business and this is still what you do, and then they're going to show you to the people who are searching. But Google will start to lose trust in websites that haven't been updated for a year, because they're not really sure if you're still in business. And so Google gives preference to newer, updated websites, and that could just be adding a blog post once a month, or it could be just making some adjustments to your website pages, or editing some products or stuff like that. But making your website fresh and updated, confirming that all the information is accurate and up to date with where your business is at right now, gives AI tools and Google the confidence to recommend you to potential clients. So simply by doing maintenance on your website to make sure that the software is all up to date, there's no security threats, your forms and your sales process are working, and there's no issues with people actually buying or sending you an email to say they're interested in your service, converting into a customer or a lead on your website. You've got to make sure all that sort of stuff works properly, and then the pages that you're sending marketing to from ads, we've got to make sure that those are not got any display areas or any issues with how the software is laid out. So once you update the software, you've got to check over and make sure everything's still in place and still looks correct, and then keep the website fresh. Make sure it's still on like the accurate message, because as your business evolves over time and you might add services or remove services or decide to work with slightly different types of clients, you got to make sure that your website is updated along with the changes and growth of your business. So making those changes, updating your blog or news with content from time to time keeps it fresh and makes sure that you're not slowly losing benefits from your website. You're actually growing your website and it's becoming a more and more valuable asset for your business. Hope that's been helpful. If you need help with the maintenance of your website and keeping it up to date and fresh, shoot me an email and support at TunedWP. I'm happy to have a chat. Cheers.